I'm Busi Nxazonke, born and bred in the Eastern Cape. Ikhaya lam liseU. That is where my grandmother is, and that's where I spent the first 7 years of my life. I went to boarding school in a dorpie called Grafrenet. My mom did not have money to send me to school. It was a total surprise, according to me, because how could she not be prepared? My education was sponsored by different corporates. At one time, it was the Bill Gates Foundation, Richard Branson. So that's how I got my BBA. Definitely umakhulu wam, my grandmother. She was the only nurse in our village and surrounding villages. I think she was my first example of good financial management, because I think in our culture, women don't like to talk about money. They're not comfortable handling money, and oftentimes it's the men that have to do that. But she was a very good example of what good financial management looked like. She is a very fierce, very strong leader, and her level of integrity is just awe-inspiring. And her humility was something that I aspire to. And when growing up, she used to say to me, "Ilifa lakho wenu yimfundo," which basically means your inheritance is education. One of my biggest challenges has been earning respect in spaces where ageism and patriarchy are rampant, where it's basically a boys' club. And I've been in situations where people did not want to deal with me because I was a woman. Men prefer to discuss money with other men. They look at this young person and they're like, "But I don't want to talk to you about this. You might be my banker, but I don't want to discuss this with you." In certain instances, people have felt that I'm a black woman, I'm too young. What could I possibly know about farming? What could I possibly know about deal structuring? So in essence, I wouldn't say it's something that I've overcome. However, I think how I've dealt with it and continue to deal with it is by being very confident in my capabilities and just taking every opportunity to learn, to improve my skill. And I think maybe Zozi said it best when she said that we need to take up space and cement ourselves in whatever spaces we find ourselves in. But I think my biggest passion will have to be small businesses. And I think it's the reason why I do what I do. I am a strong believer in the ability of small businesses to transform lives and communities. For example, my grandmother sent her 3 kids to university off the money she made breeding pigs. I also believe that my role as a banker is to affect the ecosystem around businesses and to ultimately enable people to earn a living, to transform their lives and uplift their families from poverty. Being a dream chaser is about believing in yourself against all past or present evidence. It's essentially being your own hero. I believe that each and every one of us has the potential to live our best lives, and it's a matter of having the courage to take up that space and to believe in the validity of your dreams. Piece of advice that I actually really took to heart, I just ran with it. I don't even think the person who was saying it to me was cognizant of how serious I was. So as a grad, we had a panel discussion with Funeka, Peter Schlebusch, Dave Monroe. And at the end of the panel discussion, I went up to Funeka and I had a list of questions. So what are your top 5 books? What are your top 5 values? And how do I make it? What, as a black woman in your role, what are the strategies that you've used to get ahead? And she was basically saying to me, I've just had fun. I've done jobs that I enjoyed. I don't believe that people must have this grand strategy. I actually just ran with that. I have fun in every job that I take. And I think I've used that as a yardstick for when it's time to move. When I stop having fun, I move. I am a very creative person. I am big on solving problems. Like, if you tell me your problems, I have a solution. So you come to me when you want a solution, not when you want someone to sympathize and eat ice cream with. So where there are problems, I am genuinely happy because I get a chance to be creative. I get a chance to solve those problems. So I think that was the best advice, because I've also even implemented it in my own personal life when things are not enjoyable. I would say take every opportunity you get to learn and invest in yourself. Education is always worth it, even if it seems very tough in the moment. I would also say, don't be afraid to take the unusual route. But I think the bottom line would be, do not let anyone's opinion of you or their narrative box you in. You are not a one-dimensional person, and I feel that a lot of times society tries to be fake woke and box you in. If you are a sweet girl, then you can't be tough. If you are into makeup, into fashion, then clearly you're not concerned about global warming. You don't want to be a leader. You're not concerned about the pressing issues of our times. And that's okay. You can literally be into makeup, into fashion, but still be pursuing your goals academically, pursuing your goals career-wise. You can be more than one thing at the same time.